So let's take a look at this one here. It says find the equation for the ellipse given center at 0, 0, focus at 0, -4, and vertex at 0, 5. So the way I start a problem like this is I actually start graphing the points that they've actually given me, and that gives me a better understanding of what I'm dealing with here. So I got the center 0, 0, the focus is at 0, -4, and that's only one of them. And you notice they said focus here, not foci. So that's going to be this down here. And then it also says my vertex is 0, 5. So that's going to be up here. So this tells me that I'm actually dealing with a ellipse that's longer on the y-axis. So that tells me the number on my y is going to be larger, underneath my y is going to be larger than the one underneath the x. Okay, so anyway, so now let's start to try to piece other information here for us. So from here, notice that I can actually find the other vertex that's going to be here. And I'm going to actually just label those points. And we also know the other focus point is going to be at 4, 0. Or 0, 4, sorry. All right, and we know that because we have that symmetry on both sides. So I can't really draw my ellipse right now. I have to find out more information now. But I do have enough to figure all that out now. I also know one more thing here, that the distance from the center to the focus is 4. And that would actually be my C, wouldn't it? So now that I know that information, I can actually use that to help me come up with B, because I do know the longest side. The longest side is going to be 5. Okay, so I know that as well. So I know this right here all the way to there is going to be 5. And that's going to be under my y squared. So it's going to be 5 squared underneath my y squared. So I do know that information, and that's my other number. So what I would write for that then, I would write, now remember I usually have this formula, b squared equals a squared minus c squared. And I don't think of it this way. I just say, hey, this is going to be my largest. And this is going to be my smallest one. So I do know my largest because it's on the major axis, and all of these components, the center, the focus, and the vertex are all on that major axis, which tells me that my a squared is going to be 25. And remember from previously, we had this c here, and we knew that c was 4, didn't we? Yeah, so I can just put my 4 in there. And that equals, and actually not just 4, but 4 squared because it said c squared. Okay, and that equals my b squared. So then b squared is going to equal 25 minus 16. So then b squared equals 9. So then when I square root b squared, I get b equals, and in general it's a plus or minus 3, but I'm just talking about a distance from the center. So I can take away the plus and minus and just think of it as a positive. And then from here we get, like I said previously, b squared equals 25 minus 16. B squared equals 9. And b is going to equal 3. Just had to rewrite it for the room. So now we're going to write our equation. So we know we get the x squared, and under there is going to be the smaller side. So that's, or smaller distance, I should say, from the center, plus the y squared over, and that was 5. So 5 squared equals 1. So there's our equation that we come up with here. Now, I don't know if they're going to want you to just multiply that bottom out, but that would be at most what they would require on the homework. So there would be our answer for that one if we want to write it out completely. Now in graphing this thing, now we're actually ready to graph it. We have all the necessary components that we needed. And all we really needed from all of this information to graph it was the B. And we found the B because we knew the C. And remember, the C came from the distance from the center to the focus. So now we know the distance on the x-axis from the center is going to be 3. So it's going to be here and here. Now we can actually graph this. So there's our graph, and we should label the other sides as well. So we should label this 3, 0 and -3, 0. So that's our completed graph on the right.